What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is DaviFX back again with another daily analysis video. We do have some amazing price action, some amazing patterns lining up on our charts. I'm not just going to be looking at Nasdaq today. I'm going to show you a little bit of gold as well. We do have some higher time frame analysis that I really like, and I want to share it with you. Now, I do these videos daily, so I recommend you to subscribe to the channel, and not just subscribe, also click that bell. So every time I post it, you get notified, you can watch the daily analysis, and then you can move on with your day, move on with your trading with, some professional perspectives that I'm presenting you in these videos. Over 5 years, I chose simplicity, and that is working for me the best, and I'm going to continue doing this. So even the beginners watching my analysis understands what I'm looking at and why I'm looking at those particular setups. So without further ado, let's jump right into the screens, let's jump right into the charts, and let's take a look. So as you can see on the daily, only thing I have is these two zones, and I'm gonna explain it why. So it's a new month, it's the first day of a new month, and I'll really want to look at a monthly time frame with you before I do any other type of analysis. So this past monthly candle closed week bearish. We do have a long wick. Now I want everybody to understand that we are looking at the monthly time frame. So every wick, every candle is important and it is significant. Now if I do look at the history of the charts, every time the monthly candle, basically almost every time the monthly candle has a long wick, it continues bullish. Here we do have a long wick here, continued bullish. We do have a long wick, continued bullish. We do have a long wick, continued bullish. We do have a long wick, continued bullish, long wick bullish, long wick bullish, and now we do have a long wick once again. Now, before I continue with my analysis, I want to share a very important aspect as well. Now, if we do look at these long wicks, the next monthly candle, once again monthly candle, does have a wick to the downside before continuing up. Before a long wick, the monthly candle does have a wick to the downside before continuing up. So this wick to the downside, since it's a monthly candle, you can create it in 2, 3, 4 days, maybe 10 days. So every time you have this long wick to the downside on monthly on this bearish candle, you can expect a long not long, but a wick to the downside on this next candle before continuing up. So this is a new day, this is a fresh day, fresh month, and this monthly candle, this new monthly candle, can definitely form a wick to the downside. Now I do have some zones that I'm going to be looking at on the lower time frame, which are these two, where I expect the price to form that wick. The wick doesn't have to be really long, it can be just a little bit wick before big bullish candle. And that's what I expect. I look at probabilities, I look at history, and I look at what we have based on past performance, and I use that to my advantage. Now this is what we have going on the monthly. We do have a monthly support that has been respected. We closed above on the monthly. If you look at my other daily analysis video, when the price was right at the bottom, I said I really expect this to be a wick, and this is exactly what happened. Now, can this price move down to this zone once again before continuing to the upside? Most definitely yes. And on the weekly, as you can see, last week's candle closed really bullish, invalidating not just one candle right here, but it also closed above this candle. So 1 week's candle closed above 2 previous weeks candles, showing a lot of momentum. Now without further ado, I do want to jump to the lower time frames such as daily, and we do have a double bottom. We do have a lot of momentum, and that's all I have for the daily because there's not much info on the left. Now I want to delete this monthly level, but I want everybody to keep that in mind that we have this support here, and jump down to the 2-hour time frame. On the 2-hour time frame, we most definitely obviously see two very significant zones. This is my 4-hour demand zone, very strong zone. I call it distribution zone. It's when the price has a push and then consolidates. The price likes to come back to that consolidation, grab this liquidity before continuing to the upside. Now, this is very significant zone. Also, if I pull out a Fibonacci tool, from swing low to swing high, this definitely lines up with the 0.5 retracement. So that's a significant zone, not just because of that, but also of the Fib retracements. Now, one thing I really want to mention is, as we looked at the weekly time frame, as you can see, it's very, very strong momentum. And as we're looking now at the 2-hour time frame, we do see a lot of momentum. Even this retracement is not like crazy retracement to the downside. We do not see a lot of bearish interference. As you can see, as soon as we see this bearish interference, bulls take over. As soon we see some more bearish interference, bulls take over. So the bull pressure is still there. Now, one thing I would like to mention, every time you do have a strong momentum, those retracements on those strong momentums tend to be not as strong. Every time you do have a weaker impulse, those retracements are a little bit deeper and bigger. That is why I do have two zones, and that's why I have plan A and plan B. So plan A, I'm gonna be looking for this retest and then some reversal patterns before taking longs, just because we do have a really, really strong impulse to the upside. If that ends up not playing out, if that ends up not working, then I'm gonna be waiting for the price to come down to this zone, show rejection, and then take longs from that zone right there. Now, let's drop to even lower time frame, and we do have another resistance line, trend line, that has been respected for multiple times right here. We tried to break it on the London Open, but we failed. We pushed down to this demand, and we rejected it once again. So what I believe, since we do have a lot of rejection of this demand, since we do have a lot of momentum right here, I really would like to see bullish momentum, and most likely I would love to see a break of this trend line for a potential long entry. And this is exactly what I'm going to be looking at. Now, what are going to be my targets? Obviously, my targets are going to be these highs right here, these highs right here. We do have some round numbers right here, which is 13,000. And, we do have a really, really strong supply zone right at this level. So, there's going to be some reaction when and if the price comes to this level. So if this ends up breaking out, and especially if we do break, these highs right here, then I'm going to continue to look for long positions until we reach this, and then I'm going to see how it reacts to that. But that's, further in the future, and this is the price action we need to focus on. So two scenarios, once again: break above this, for a long position, or come down to the zone for a long position. So these are two scenarios I'm looking for. Now I do want to drop to go to the gold chart, because we do have some interesting price action. Once again, we're looking at the gold chart, and I want to start with the monthly time frame. As you can see, I have a resistance marked up right here. We're looking at the monthly time frame once again. We see how the price reacted to this resistance 2 times and how strong of a reaction was. And on the monthly time frame, every candle is significant, every wick is significant. So as you can see, we did try to build up some momentum to the upside, but once we reached this resistance, the price had a strong reaction. So looking at the monthly time frame, very, very weak bullish candle. Then coming along, we do have a bearish candle. And this previous month, that monthly candle that just closed yesterday, is significant bearish candle. Why? It is not because it's not just because we broke some of these, key structure zones right here, but it also, the body of this candle is even bigger bearish body than the previous candle. So that is significant. Now let's look at some interesting and important zones that we have. Let's drop down to the weekly time frame. So we do have this weekly resistance, as you can see, and we do have this weekly support right here. Once the price dropped to this resistance, we had a reaction and we started coming up to this zone above. Now let me zoom in a little bit more, and as you can see, we did have nice momentum, but as soon as we touched this resistance, we had a reaction. We had a weak bullish candle, and now we do have so far we still have 2 days and 12 hours, but so far it looks like it's a bearish engulfing candle coming off of this zone. So most obviously we do have a lot of support here, and I don't see anything else. But if this, especially if this weekly candle closes bearish, I do see touching of this zone. If we do break this zone, then I see a touch of this monthly support that we have here. As you can see, support many times. So I'm not very bullish on gold at the moment. I was bullish when we were approaching this resistance, but as soon as I saw this rejection, I decided that I'm going to be looking for short positions on gold. Now if we look at other price actions, such as other time frames such as 4 hour, we do have multiple structure breaks to the downside. This is significant. I think this was my last test for the bulls. Since this broke, I really see this price action coming all the way down to the support. That is okay. It's good for us traders that we can short the market, and I am going to be looking for short positions down to this weekly support, and this is what I see happening. Now, what are my potential entries? What are the potential scenarios I'm going to be looking at? Now, just looking at the candles, we're looking at the 4 hour time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 4 hour candle closures. We can expect a bullish candle coming in the next 8 hours, maybe a day. So I do see the price moving a little bit up, retest some zones before continuing to the downside. So at this moment, I'm not looking for any setups, especially to go long, but we do have some interesting zones such as this. It has been respected multiple times. Here, distribution demand, we have respect here, and we finally broke it. So I do see a likely scenario of the price coming to the zone and then dropping. So I'm gonna set alert up at this zone, and this is where I'm gonna be looking on gold. So that is what I have for today. Thank you for watching. Really hope you enjoy. Once again, hit that subscribe button if you want to learn to trade from me. You also not just get the course, you also get a one-on-one session with me for the same price. If you do want to follow my trades, if you want to follow every action that I make in the markets, you can check all the links in the description for the signals for my Instagram. I really suggest you to follow my Instagram as well, because I post a lot of stuff there, educational stuff as well. And that's all I have. See you all tomorrow. This was DaviFX. Peace.